Wow. So Jeff Horn shocks the world and beats Manny Pacquiao to become the new WBO and Lineal Welterweight champion of the world. All right. First, I gotta say a couple of things. I have to say one thing. Jeff Horn have proved me wrong. Yes, I'm gonna come out here and admit to you guys that he proved me wrong. I honestly believe that he was not ready for this fight, and I didn't think he could compete on the level and the aptitude of on the pedigree, not saying pedigree, on the level of Manny Pacquiao. I really didn't think he could. But he showed to me, despite the fact that he was in trouble for the most part of the fight, he proved that he could fight on a championship level. He's going to come back. He's going to keep digging. He's going to keep coming at you. And that's the one thing I've seen in this fight tonight is that Horn didn't show Pacquiao pretty much no respect whatsoever. Although he was getting clipped with those counter lefts and them short left hooks by Pacquiao, which is his signature punches, all throughout the fight. Now, there are some questionable situations regarding this fight here because there was some lot of roughhouse tactics by Horn, and there was some. Oh man, it was pretty dirty. This fight was pretty dirty, and I know Pacquiao's corner was complaining about Horn's roughhouse tactics because Pacquiao has sustained two horrible cuts above his head, one on the right side, one on the left side, which impaired his vision with the blood trickling down. I think it's happened in the fifth round. One cut happened in the fifth round, then another cut happened in the sixth round, and that's where Horn started to come back and steal that run from Pacquiao due to that situation. So Pacquiao's corner was complaining about that. And like I said, I don't think he meant to do that. I think it was accidental head bumps that happens all the time when you're trying to come forward against a fighter. But the thing about Horn, obviously he was the bigger man. And, NBT Boxing had pointed this out. Shout out to him that Horn is a very big welterweight. The dude looks like a freaking middleweight. And yeah, I'm not sure how long he'll be able to make that 147 weight limit because he did have trouble trying to make it for this fight. So that's yet to be seen in the future. But yeah, Horn did come back in the sixth round. I had Pacquiao up 5 rounds to 1 before the sixth round, and then Horn. No, actually, no. I had Pacquiao up by 3 rounds, by 1 round, 3 rounds to 2, because I gave Horn the first 2 rounds, and then Pacquiao won the last three rounds, 3, 4, and 5. Then Horn stole that round, 6, and then 7th. He kind of gave that to Horn. The 8th, 9th, and 10th, I gave it to Pacquiao. And the 8th round was the one I think that really kind of disturbed me because Pacquiao scored a counter shot left and Horn went down due to fatigue, and he also had sustained a cut on above his right eye. And the referee called it a slip. So I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold on. I thought that was a knockdown, even though it was a flash knockdown, but Pacquiao connected on a punch for Horn to go down. So I thought that should have been scored a knockdown. That's one right there I felt. Yeah, I thought I gave Pacquiao that round, but obviously I felt that he should have got a 2-point round for that. If the referee didn't call if the referee didn't call it a slip. So it is what it is. But in the 9th round, Pacquiao dominated this round, which I felt that he should have got a 10-8 score in that round. Now, then you got the 10, 11, and 12. Those rounds were fairly close. I gave Pacquiao the 10th round, Horn the 11th, and 12th. So I had Pacquiao win this fight. Okay. Now, the one thing that the controversy around this situation is 117, 111 by 2 judges who scored that fight for Horn. It was a unanimous decision, by the way. And one judge scored it 115, 113 for Horn, which is somewhat reasonable, but given the fact that Pacquiao should have gotten a rewarded point for a knockdown, and then another round where I felt he should have got 10-8, it should have been 113, 113 a draw. But that 117, 111, yeah, that is some home cooking score right there, in my opinion. Very home cooking it. Because there's no way in the world that Horn won that fight by that wide a margin. I mean, it was a close fight. Don't get me wrong, because I agree with Tim Bradley on this, because Teddy Atlas was in disagreement that he felt that fight wasn't close. But I agree with Tim Bradley because I felt that Horn fought his way to make that fight very close. And there were some moments in the rounds where you felt he could have stole it from Pacquiao. So, yeah, I think that 117, 111 score was way too wide, in my opinion. I is way too high, and yeah, that this is the second fight in a row where we have controversy with some hometown decisions when it comes to scoring. I mean, Jesus Christ, first with the Robert Easter situation, where everybody's blaming America for being the most corrupt country when it comes to judges and scoring when it comes to fights. Now you have this situation in Australia. Now, my point is this: I'm not singling out any region or any country whatsoever. Boxing is corrupted in various ways. There's corruption all over the world when it comes to the sport. I mean, it goes all the way back to the 1900s. That's when corruption existed. Believe me, corruption was much more worse back then when the mob controlled it. Okay, this is why I get into these debates with these people that always claim robbery when they feel that fights don't, go in their favor that they see fit. But it is what it is. You know how they are. They're very subjective when it comes to their views of fights. But yeah, I feel Pacquiao won the fight. But I also have to point out, though, Pacquiao's really aged. You could tell with the way he was fighting in there. He looks like he really, really slowed down. He looked like he's really aged. And it seems like most of his reflexes are gone. And the speed is not there as as it would have used to be. Now that Horn is the WBO and he's also the lineal welterweight champion of the world, from what I've heard, from what I've been hearing, he does have Manny Pacquiao does have a rematch clause, so he does have a right to invoke it. So we'll see what happens from there if he's going to revoke it. To invoke it. Now, if Pacquiao doesn't invoke it, where do you see Jeff Horn going from here, man? I mean, I do want to see him in there mixed up against the Earl Spences and the Keith Thurmans. Those are the fights that definitely need to happen now. Is he going to take a couple of tune-ups before he entered those type of fights, those unification bouts? But he is a top-ranked fighter. Let's not get it twisted. I think he's top-ranked, and he's also co-promoted with Duco events as well. So now that he's the WBO champion, there's also a possibility that he could give Tim Bradley a shot because Tim Bradley's still ranked with the WBO. Man, that'd be interesting to see how that unfolds. But yeah, very, very, very controversial how this fight ended. But again, I got to eat a little crow here. Jeff Horn did prove me wrong. He did fight with a lot of heart. I think after that 10th round, he was really beaten up badly. I thought the referee was going to stop the fight, but when the referee gave him a chance because he was still fighting back to some degree, but he was getting hit a lot though. I mean, Pacquiao really just couldn't miss for no reason. He just couldn't miss him, and Horn just couldn't throw anything, just couldn't connect. But Horn begged the referee, please don't stop the fight. Don't stop the fight. He's like, look, okay, if you don't show me something the next round, I'm going to stop it. And then Horn came back and, showed him something. So got to give him credit for his heart, man, his tenacity. He did really impress me right here in this fight, by the way, to form. Even though I didn't think he won it, but yeah, he really impressed me. So yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts on this, man. Did you really believe that Pacquiao won the fight as I think I did, but in a close margin rather than a wide margin? Or do you think the judges scoring was way off like I think it was too, in my opinion, in this situation? And where do you see Jeff Horn going from here? How do you see him match up against the likes of Earl Spence, who he ducked, by the way, for IBF title eliminator? Let's not forget that he did duck that title eliminator against Spence. But anyways, that is the past. So we're in the future now. So now he is the champion. How do you like his chances against Earl Spence? And how do you like his chances against the Keith Thurman? Let me know what your thoughts about this. I'm out.